Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away.
Hello, my name is Torgeir too. Today I will be presenting about a huge problem in the world today. Who am I, you may be asking just about now? Well, I am a student at the International School of Bergen. I am presenting this project as my personal project. The personal project is a project which is a necessary component to complete the MYP program and continue on to the diploma program. The project is designed so that it prepares you for a higher learning. In the project, you need to include a report, a presentation, and a product. The project also needs to connect with a global context. If you have not figured it by now, this is my product. The global context which I have chosen to connect this project towards is globalization and sustainability. Globalization and sustainability are about the integration of all humans and how the decisions have impacted the world. Now, to connect this to my project is mainly about sustainability. Because with the current state at which humans waste food, in the middle of the century, 2050, it will be very difficult to feed the world because of an estimate of 11 billion in the population. Another reason why you should not waste food is because animals such as cows cause massive pollution in the world. Approximately 14% of the world's greenhouse gases, with a significant of the gases being methane gas, it is estimated to be 23 times worse than carbon dioxide. So, to truly understand this, you need to see how bad carbon dioxide is. Carbon dioxide comprises an estimate of 84% of the world's greenhouse gases. Now, if you can imagine a world where people produce enough food for everyone on Earth, but 1 in 9 people of this world are still sleeping with an empty stomach. Even more so, imagine a world where 1 in 3 people still have some sort of malnutrition because they don't have enough food to eat. Well, this is the world we live in today. So I ask you, why are people starving away in places like Africa, Brazil, Haiti, Zambia, and etc.? Now finally, imagine a world where all these problems are currently growing rampant, as there are more people being born every day. But you, yes you, the people watching this video right now, without a thought to throw away leftover food just because it bores you. Yes, this is the world we live in today. So now that we have finally introduced my project, let's see what food waste truly is. Simply put, food waste is food that is either wasted on purpose or by accident. For example, throwing away a leftover food or throwing away food which is mistaken to be expired. Food waste occurs usually at the end of the food chain. In convenience stores, restaurants, and homes. While at least this is the case for developed countries. But in less developed countries, food waste is wasted throughout the entire process of the food chain. There are different ways to prevent food waste. One of the main ways suggested by the internet, such as don't overcook, buying reasonably, and etc. Using these tips at home will not only save you money, but also stop the overflowing amount of food which is wasted every year. To give you a good perspective on the matter of the world, the world throwaways about 1/3 of the food produced every year, with the number being approximately 1.3 billion tons. And now I'll give you some of my tips to prevent food waste. Tip 1. When you're finished eating, you put your leftovers in a box and put that box in the fridge, most appropriately behind your previous leftovers if there are any. Tip 2. This is optional, but before you put the box into the fridge, I recommend putting a sticky note or something on it, and then writing and then stating when you're going to eat the food by. I recommend between 3 to 5 days. Step number 3. Giving yourself smaller portions may help stop wasting food. After all, you can always get more. Tip 4. Sticking to a recipe will also significantly reduce the leftover food which you cook, and it will reduce the amount of food you have to put in the fridge. Personally, my favorite is hot and sour soup. Right here. Tip number 5. Before you actually start cooking, right? Make sure that you buy the correct amount for your recipe. After all, buying more just means that you're going to lose more money, and the food will just become spoiled. So, tip number 6. Before you do anything like that, leave your perishable foods in the front because it's the most likely to expire. Tip number 7. Don't be like me and store all of your imperishable foods because you're likely never going to eat it. For example, an example of food waste prevention programs, which does not entail things which you need to do at home, would be Brazil's school feeding program. The program reduces the amount of waste food by buying from local farmers. The program is also one of the best ways to prevent food waste according to the World Food Program. The program which Brazil uses stops food waste because they use every single part of an ingredient. For example, they use the outer layers of an onion to make the stew more aromatic or more tasty. This program also promotes sustainability because it allows the farmers to expand their business easier and stop wasting food by losing it in transport or in storage. The program would help us stop food waste, help schools feed their students, help local farmers, and it will also help the school have a sustainable supply of food without throwing it away. There are many things that can change and help the world. If, for example, we all follow the tips which I have given us, we as a human race will reduce the amount of food that we waste. Another thing that can change is that if we use the school feeding program, we could increase the foods which is lost in production or processes. And we can also improve the sustainability of our local area by buying directly from our farmers and not from convenience stores. The benefits of doing this are that it will cause less pollution because of the demand of meats such as cow meat will reduce. The things which I have learned from this project is that I have learned how to stop great amounts of food waste. I have also learned I have also served less food for myself, but still getting the same amount of nutrients that I need. Whenever I eat, I finally start to label my boxes at home. As you can see, that I have not changed the way I live too much. But small steps like this are what will help the world in the future. After all, Rome was not built in a day, and neither will this problem solve itself in a day.
Town to town, from London to Taiwan, I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.